In these two videos, I want to have a look at how to graph linear equations or linear relationships into Excel. Now, linear equations in their standard form of y equals mx plus c, or b, as it's also known as, it's also known as the slope y-intercept form, but that's the standard form. And in the standard form, m equals the gradient, that's how steep the slope is, and c, or b, equals the y-intercept. But it's also the constant term. So we have a variable in x. So in the equation here, y equals 2x plus 2, you can see that x is a variable, but it's always plus 2. So that's a constant term. All right, now in our graph, we want to have a table of values. We're going to have an x value and y value. X value is called the domain. And in Excel, what I'm going to start is go from -5 through to 5. So all I need to do is this, put in the first two, then highlight it. And where the cursor changes, I can copy that pattern down to give me the range, to give me the domain that I want. I only want to go to +5. Thank you. So I can get rid of that one. So for this one here, I want to tell Excel that I'm not putting in a value, I'm putting in a function or a formula, and for that I use the equal sign. So it's equals twice this cell here, which is A8 plus 2. So I go to twice and then shift 8, which is the times on a keyboard, and it's A8 plus 2. Press enter and that's what you get. Again, I can copy this formula down, see where the cursor changes. I can copy it down and there are my values. That's the range. So x is the domain and y is the range of values. For this value of x is -5, twice -5 is -10, plus 2 is -8. So here, down here, twice 5 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So what we can do, any data that we want to work with in Excel, we've got to highlight it. And then I go to Insert. It's an American program, so they call it Charts. So we want to go to the Scatter or X and Y coordinates, but the one with the line. So there I have, that's my graph of Y equals 2x plus 2. And you can see here where it cuts the y-axis at 2. And you go across 1, it goes up by 2. Up 1, goes across 1, up by 2. Across 1, it goes up by 2. Across 1, goes up by 2, and that gives it its straight line value. Now, we can play around with various things, and so what I'm going to do here on this one is I'm going to put y equals 2x plus 2. And that's a chart title. And there's various things you can change. You can change axis titles. Chart title, we've done data labels. You can go to data labels and change them around. You can go to grid lines, change them around. Legend, you can put it on the right. Let's put it to the right. There's the Y value. And then you can alter the name of this as well. You can do various things. But what we want to look at mostly now is how to graph it. Now what we're going to do is demonstrate the gradient. So in the next one, we're going to put y equals 4x plus 2. So I go to y equals 4x plus 2. So we're still going to cut the y-axis at the same spot. We're going to have a slightly higher value for m, so that means that it's going to be steeper. Sorry, let's go to y. Okay, so what we want to put in here, tell it it's a formula or a function. So it equals 4 times A8, shift 8, 4 times A8 plus 2. And so we've got this value. Then if we again see where we can click and drag it down, that'll give us our next range of values. So what I can do is this, highlight them all, and we can see how it's just going to move how it's going to change the gradient. Again, we'll go to insert. We want chart. The chart we want is a scatter with a line. So we can move this down. We can see here how it's become a little more steep. It's got a steeper slope. So let's go for y equals 8x. Y equals 8x plus 2 plus 2. So we'll go here. We want our y, our range, which is our y in terms of x. So here equals, and it's 8 times A8 plus 2. And you can see there, and we can then extrapolate or copy our formula down, and away it goes. So this time what we'll do is grab them all, go to insert. We want a scatter with a line, and again you can see how, we'll move this one across to here, you can see how the slope is changing, becoming more steep. And also you'll notice here that the y is changing according to the values that we put in. And so you've got 42 here for y and negative 38. So to fit that in, you could make it a bigger graph, but to fit that in, you have to change the y values to fit into the same size. But what you can see is here that for the equation, the graph y equals, let's go drag it across, y equals 2x plus 2, y equals 4x plus 2, y equals 8x plus 2, they all cut the y-axis at positive 2, and they get more steep or steeper with the higher value for m. So m changes the gradient, which is the steepness of the graph. In the next video, I want to move on and have a look at how it can move up and down the y-intercept.